Hey guys, welcome back here to Advanced Bass Fishing. Appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's video. And guys, today I want to talk about the one lure color that catches more quality fish or bigger fish than about any color that you can throw. It's like color has a big impact on the number of fish you catch and the size of the fish you catch, depending upon the situation. And there's some colors out there that just are more conducive to catching numbers, and other colors they attract the bigger fish. It may not be the best lure or may not be the best lure to catch the most fish on, but they definitely get the bigger ones. So I'm going to explain in today's video what that color is and how you can use it and the situations that it works in pretty good there. Also, guys, a couple quick tips here, or a couple quick little bits of info I'd like to pass along to you guys. Anybody interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, guys? Jerkbait fishing is really good in my part of the country right now. If you're interested in booking an on-the-water jerkbait lesson with me, just go to my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler, and shoot me a private message. It's going to be good probably up until probably the mid part of March, and it starts tailing off. But January, February, and March are really good months for that. So appreciate that, and I hope to hear from you guys on it. Okay, any guesses on what that is? I think some of you guys probably can. But what I'm going to tell you guys here, it's true. It doesn't matter if it's a slow bait or a fast bait or a topwater bait or whatever it is. The best color combination that you will ever have is some type of a lure that has black and chartreuse in it. Black and chartreuse jig, like a blackback chartreuse side crankbait like this. Same with the topwater. This combination right here, guys, it attracts bigger fish and more aggressive fish than any other color that you can throw. So let's talk a little bit about both scenarios here as far as when you're fishing like a hard bait, crankbait or something, jerk bait, or a slow bait like a jig or something, or even some type of a worm. How I first got on this, I like to tell stories about how I figured this stuff out. Is back when I was in the early 80s, I fished this tournament circuit around my part of the country. It was called the Great Plains Pro Bass Association. And there was this one dude on there that I can't even remember his name. I think his name was Bob Hildebrand. This is a long time ago, 50 years ago. He was one of the top anglers on the circuit, especially up in Iowa there. And I remember reading an article about it, about the success he had jig fishing. That's about all he did is fish a jig, and about the only thing he did was fish a black and chartreuse jig. And he was talking about how it's really good on rainy days, but I got thinking about it. I'd never tried a black and chartreuse until I read that article, and I started fishing one, guys, and I started catching some good fish on it. And I experimented with different trailers on it, different trailer combinations, but this black and chartreuse jig, guys, will catch you a bigger fish than any other color out there. And it's the same with any other soft plastic or slow bait. One of the first soft plastic baits that I ever had that same success on is there used to be a worm called a tube worm. I think it's Night Lures made it back in the early 80s. And this tube worm, it looked just like we said, it looked like it was a plastic worm about as big around as your pinky, but it had like a tube tail on it, the tentacles like a tube. And my favorite was a black worm. It had the chartreuse tentacles on it. It was a black and chartreuse bait, just like this jig was, and I caught so many quality fish on it. And then the same with like the crankbait, guys, like the Balsa B3 Bagley, one of the most famous colors is that blackback chartreuse side. Caught a ton of big fish on that. On anything like a spook, any type of bright colored spook the same way. Jerkbait, Fire Tiger jerkbait, same with that. They catch the biggest fish in the area. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about how to utilize it. First of all, like I was saying starting out, black and chartreuse is probably not the best color to catch fish on all day long or the most fish on, because again, it's an aggressive, bright color, and there's nothing subtle about it. And a lot of times the best lures that catch the most fish are the more subtle tones, like the green pumpkins and the watermelons and the browns and the greens. But if you go brighter colors will attract bigger fish. Same with like a pearl white. Pearl white is another good color for big ones. But this black and chartreuse, it catches aggressive big fish, and they get conditioned to it pretty quick. So a lot of times I'll start off with it in the morning. Say for example, the first 2 or 3 hours, I'll start out with the black and chartreuse. If they get off it, I'll change to something else. Most of the time, if you're fishing, I don't care if it's a black and chartreuse jig or a black and chartreuse crankbait, the only way that you can catch fish on them throughout the course of the day is in dirty water, like water visibility that's you know, less than a foot clarity, then it can be a good color all day long. But other than that, the black and chartreuse is a really good low light lure color condition. Now that low light can be from the shade first thing off the bat early in the morning when the sun is still low. It can be rain, it can be clouds, it can be wind coming through the water. A lot of different factors that give you low light situations will allow that color to work in a little bit cleaner water up to about 3 feet. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to clue you in on this, man. If I could give you guys one tip, guys, just try this black and chartreuse jig. This is my Blaukat Throwback jig here. We do make it living rubber. It's a black and chartreuse skirt. The link will be in the description of this video, my throwback jig link through Tackle Warehouse, if you guys would like to try that. But in dirty water, like if you have water visibility of under a foot, try the black trailer. And if the water visibility is like between, say, 2 to 3 foot, rotate between a solid blue trailer or a green pumpkin trailer with that chartreuse jig, black chartreuse jig. Definitely catch you some good fish there. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.